What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if we are going to get anything substantial for The Last of Us Day 2023. Kind of an annual checkup, and I actually went back into the vault to see. We did this back in 2021. There wasn't a lot given to us in 2021, 2022. These days haven't been the greatest, but with each and every one of these comes opportunity. And what we obviously have is the big thing, right, is the multiplayer. And that's kind of what we're going to focus this video on. Can we, for the love of God, get anything on the multiplayer on this day? Now, remember, the day is September 26th, so not that many days away. I think there is a potential that this could happen. I don't think it's high. I think, obviously, we had heard the rumors a few months back, right, that maybe there's some internal struggles at Naughty Dog and this kind of like audit being done basically on all these live service games. Maybe that's slowing it down. But I do think there is a slight chance. Also, with every chance that there is of the multiplayer game, there could also be the same chance for The Last of Us 2's director's cut, right? And we've been talking about that since, I believe we talked about that ever since Last of Us 2 came out. So I think both of those are obviously like opportunities. They could do them. What you have to do, though, right, is you do go back and you look at what is commonly showed. Now, last year was actually semi-big. Last year they did, I believe, do a teaser for the TV show. So I feel like it goes like this. If there's something to present and it's timely, there's an odd that it can happen. But most times what you end up getting is merchandise. I think they did a guitar a few years back. I mean, they're cool, right? Statues, different instruments of sorts. They can do some pretty cool stuff. However, and I guess those are probably filling the void, right? Like if they don't have anything on those years, you're not going to show The Last of Us, part 3, obviously. If you didn't have, I guess, the director's cut back then, you're not going to do that. So when there is an opportunity or when you do get close to one of these things coming out, that's when it's possible. We've been saying it for a while. The multiplayer thing is, I think, in a situation where you do have to start saying something. I think it would just be nice to fans, honestly, for how long we've been waiting for it and for, again, the behind-the-scenes trouble that maybe some people don't even know about, and that's fine. But with the situation happening there, I think you have to start to give us something. We've gotten a couple things of like artwork, right, pictures, but where we're at right now, I think you have to start giving a little bit more. I guess the bigger question there, right, is when does the multiplayer thing come out? I mean, I guess years ago I would have probably said 2023, but at this point, 2024, maybe even further on. I know there's even some people speculating that maybe the multiplayer gets kind of fused in to the next game. Maybe they kind of drop the multiplayer separate idea and they just put it with the third game that releases when the PS6 comes out or whatever. That is definitely possible. I actually am in the belief that the multiplayer still does exist, number one, and still will come out, and hopefully it comes out rather soon. So hopefully multiplayer comes out within the next year and a half. If that's the case, I think you can see something. I wouldn't expect like a trailer. I'll be honest, what I really would just hope to see is just a picture. Just show us one additional thing, whether it's a map, whether it's characters, whether it's like a menu start screen, whether, I guess the worst case scenario would probably just be like a Neil Druckmann quote, right? Kind of just celebrating Last of Us and saying, we're working hard on the multiplayer. I guess there's some good in there, right? Because if you just kind of say the multiplayer's name out loud, obviously there's still, okay, well, they're still working on it. There's a little bit of hope there. I think we're kind of beyond that, but that would be, I'd say, semi-worst case scenario because you wouldn't be giving us anything, right? It would just be kind of a tweet, just this little blog post. But at the same time, there'd be a little bit of hope there because at least he's acknowledging that the thing still exists. Again, I really still do believe the thing exists. And then as for Last of Us Part 2, like a director's cut, I mean, the longer you go away from it, the less likely that it is that you would do anything like that. And this would be, by the way, like a PS5 kind of overhaul or, whatever kind of improvements or enhancements you'd want to do. Again, we've been talking about it for so long, but I think every year we talk about it, it becomes less and less likely. I think there were rumors maybe back when it came out. I think that's probably how the whole thing got started, is somebody brought up the rumor. But with every year that goes by, I think it makes less and less sense. Why are you going to do a director's cut for a game? It's a little over 3 years old right now. By the time something like that would come out, right, you're looking at probably spring of 2024. So are you going to do a director's cut for a game that's 4 years, after the game release? Probably not. So hopefully we get something. I'm honestly not holding my breath because I know we'll get merchandise. I know we'll get something kind of like that. There is the potential that they could do something big. Again, they've done it where I guess it's made sense, like with the TV show. This would be an odd one. I don't even know if legally they'd be able to do this, but I think they could. We kind of know Abby is cast, right, in Last of Us Season 2. We've gotten like more than enough interviews with Craig that said that, so maybe you do something there. I guess that would actually be another kind of disappointment on like my scoreboard if this Last of Us Day, if the focus is more on the show, like maybe some weird casting, but again, like you can't go too far because of the strikes, and they can't like announce a filming date. They can't announce when the show Season 2 is coming out because they haven't gotten there yet, right? So I think they could do a little show stuff, but there's really only so much you can do with the strikes. They really should be focusing on the games. The games is what started it all, and so hopefully we see something. I'll be keeping my eye on it, and if we get anything for the multiplayer game, I'll make a video on this channel. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.